Hi everyone, how are you today? Today's topic is part of a minimalism guide for beginners, and it's about how to clear bad thoughts from your mind. Part of a minimalist mindset is to be able to clear many things that are not being of use in our lives, or to clear off anything that may bring negative outcomes to it. And that includes thoughts as well. And today's guide will help you eliminate those thoughts or simply see them from a different perspective. Because it is okay to feel the way we do. Often life brings us a reality that is not all happy and flowers. And it can be tough sometimes to deal with those situations or thoughts. And the idea of today's topic is not to deny those thoughts, feelings, or situations, but to face them head on so you can move forward from it. Or at least learn as much as you can from these situations, thoughts, and feelings, and use those learning lessons as tools to improve what needs to be improved in your life. And if you end up liking what I'm sharing with you today, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or share it with those who you think will need it. Now, let's begin.
Before I go over some different techniques that help us eliminate those bad thoughts from our minds, we first need to be aware that they are happening and that they are there. Whenever we fall into negative thinking that will interfere with many aspects of our lives, including our career, our love, or personal lives, we can use those techniques to clear our minds of those thoughts and bring more positive ones. Use whichever technique you find beneficial, and you can use them in combination too, but most importantly, use them. You no longer need to be overpowered by negative thoughts and feelings. You no longer have to let negative thoughts bring you down. And by filling your mind with more positive thinking, you will notice how things start changing around you, and that will help you feel happy again. When something bad happens or you are having some negative or bad thoughts, you first have to ask yourself some questions. Like, what's one good thing about this situation? What's one thing I can do differently next time to likely have a better outcome? What's one thing I can learn from this? Analyzing the situation or thoughts will help us define what is causing them and what we can change on that situation or view it differently so we no longer have to deal with this negative thinking all the time. Clearing negative thoughts will involve clearing those negative situations from your life. That is, if you can. Or clear past memories if that is what's causing you trouble. Clearing past memories doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be learning from those mistakes or from different situations, but it's just that you are not letting those memories affect your life today. And before I go over those techniques, I also have to mention that a lot that we go through in life is out of our control, and we cannot control everything, but we can control how we think and react to those situations. Now, let's go over the different techniques that I have for you today, and hopefully that will help you clear your mind of bad thoughts. The first technique And probably one of the most powerful ways to clear your mind of negative thinking is to change the focus of your thoughts. Sometimes negative thinking is the result of a bad perspective. So you can take a look at the point of view that you take before the things that happen around you. So for example, instead of thinking, I'm going through a difficult time and I'm having problems, you may think, I think I'm facing some challenges, but I'm working on finding solutions. You'll be basically facing those negative thoughts head on, but instead of letting them drag you down, you are adding a more positive point of view to them. Often, that small change of focus can make a big difference in your thinking patterns. And like I said before, there are things that we cannot control in life, but we can change the perspective and we can control how we deal with them. The second way of clearing negative thoughts, or the second technique, is to list everything worthwhile in your life and find gratitude. Have you forgotten all the good things around you? Well, sometimes in the daily routine, we lose focus on the good things that we have going on for us or that are present in our lives. You must train your mind to return to focus on all the good things that happens around you. List each of the things you should be grateful for, no matter how small they seem to be. List them every day when you wake up if you have to. All you have to do is to say to yourself out loud, thank you for this bed, thank you for this shelter, thank you for this breakfast, and so on. Do not take anything for granted in this respect. Sometimes the good things in our lives are right in front of our faces and we still cannot see them. So stop being blind to all of the positive things that you already have and be grateful for a few of the things you may often take for granted. For some of you, taking a walk or exercising might be the best way to deal with negative thinking. Sometimes our thoughts are a product of our environment. So, for example, if you are surrounded by negative people, you are likely to start thinking negatively as well. So, getting away from this negative environment can help considerably. In this case, taking a short walk would probably be the best thing you can do in order to clear your mind of all these negative situations. The time you spend away from negative influences will provide you with a necessary space of tranquility, as well as a space to deal with your thoughts and analyze them in order to clear your head. Exercising is another way you can use a healthy activity in order to boost endorphins and bring a more positive outlook on what you are going through. So for those of you who like to be more active or just enjoy getting some fresh air, this technique is going to be a great way to deal with your different thoughts and changing them into more positive ones. For those of you who have more of a creative mind, being exactly that, more creative, can help you deal with your negative thoughts. So when negative thoughts come, it is very useful to find a creative outlet for those thoughts. So in this case, a good idea would be to write things down, to draw even, or to paint something. Exploring emotions through creativity acts as a self-therapy and will elevate your mood. The creativity can feel like a release. When you process your emotions through a form of art or creativity, You are breaking the habitual dynamic of your thoughts, and it will be easier for you to understand and control them. Another technique to eliminate negative thinking is by labeling them. So, as soon as you recognize that you are thinking negatively, label it as such. You can say to yourself, what's happening right now is that I am experiencing a negative thought inside of me, and it's only a negative thought. It's only a negative thought. When you distance yourself from the matter and you look at it as if you are looking at an object, it is easier to analyze the what, the who, or why you are feeling the way you do. Negativity only have power over you if you react to them. So the minute you start worrying, the moment you start reacting and working yourself up, the negative thought has got you. However, when you recognize that negativity only have power over you when you react to them, then you simply choose not to react. Label it instead and move on to something else, or try to fix the issues that are causing you to feel that way. Is it because of a person? Is there any way you can communicate your feelings better to others so they can respect you? Are there other things you could be doing to your life so these negative situations don't follow you around? Or do you need to distance yourself from that situation, people, etc. altogether? Labeling your negative thoughts will only help you deal with them in a more rational way, so you can move forward from them. The next technique has to do with how you talk to yourself when a negative thought has arisen. So, this technique will involve exaggerating the bad thought into all ridiculousness. You can make a joke out of the bad thought, or you can reaffirm with the opposite from the bad thought. When you exaggerate the negative thought until your mind goes, okay, enough, this is ridiculous, then you find yourself laughing at the thought. And once you're laughing at the thought, it is robbed of all of its negative power. The same as if you make a joke out of it. Then, if you counteract it by thinking the exact opposite thought, like, for example, when the negative thought says, I'm not going to make another sale today, counteract it with, I'm going to make several more sales today. When the negative thought says, I'm never going to get ahead financially, counteract it with the exact opposite, like, I'm going to be tremendously successful financially. Or when the negative thought says, I'm never going to have a meaningful relationship, you counteract it with the exact opposite of, like, I'm going to have a fabulous relationship soon. Affirmations, whether they are jokes or not, they are simply statements that you repeat to yourself over and over and over again. Affirmations, or the way you talk to yourself, are extremely effective, especially on reoccurring negatives, the ones that have haunted you for years. The next time you find yourself thinking a negative thought, such as I'm never going to get ahead in my life, counteract it with 2 minutes of affirmations, stating the exact opposite. So you will say to yourself for 2 minutes, I'm going to be tremendously successful in my life. I'm going to be tremendously successful in my life. I'm going to be tremendously successful in my life. Repeat it up until you really feel it. And it's over and over and over, so it gets into your subconscious. And if the negative thought comes back again, hit it again with another 2 minutes of positive thinking or jokes or however you think this thought should be dealt with in order to make it more positive. If you respond with at least 2 minutes of affirmations every single time the negative thought comes to you, I can guarantee you that very quickly, often within days, that negative thought will cease haunting you. So that's it, darlings, for all the different techniques that I wanted to share with you today. I hope some of them are going to be helpful with the way you're dealing with your bad thoughts or feelings or situations. And just as a reminder, when we get negative, it's easy to forget the positive things that we have in our lives, especially the ones that are just a normal part of our life that we take for granted. So make sure you recognize those beautiful and positive things that you have going for you, like a steady meal every day, or clean water, or a helpful family or a friend, or just a helpful hand. And when you use gratitude together with clearing yourself of situations that you can control of that are negative, then you're building a very prosperous environment inside your head and out. And that is the key for a more fulfilling and happier life. I hope you enjoyed what I shared with you today, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have an amazing day.